Presidential aspirant Bola Tinubu has briefed governors of the All Progressives Congress about his presidential ambition in Abuja, where he commended them for their roles in the success of the party's national convention. Chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum, Abubakar Bagudu, says that the governors in attendance are pleased to have the presidential aspirant and they will look into Asiwaju Tinubu's message and request. Ola Awako reports on this.
As stipulated by the Nigerian Constitution.
Few hours after Vice President Yemi Osinbajo finally declared his intention to run for the position of the president of the country, the national leader of the APC met with APC governors to inform them about his ambition. After the closed-door meeting, Asiwaju Tinubu, whose intention is already known in the public space and has consulted widely, says he came to seek their support.
My mission is to seek collaboration, support, encouragement of my party, the APC, for my ambition and my mission to become the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum and Governor of Kebbi State admits that the governors present were pleased to officially hear the intention of Asiwaju Tinubu to run for the office of the President of Nigeria in the 2023 elections and his agenda for the nation.
We appreciate him, we appreciated the message, and we will definitely discuss the message at our one of our forums meetings.
At least 14 governors were in attendance, unlike the 10 governors that attended the meeting with Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Governor Bagudu also reacted to the meeting with Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and now Asiwaju Bola Tinubu.
The fact that we have people in our party who express the desire to lead the party, the party into electoral contest at the highest office shows how much this party has resonated with Nigerians and our party members, and for us it's a hallmark of success.
This is Asiwaju Tinubu's response when he was asked about the declaration of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who is publicly known as one of his political beneficiaries.
Your son has left the place.
Thank you. I have no son grown enough to declare.
With this latest development, the next few weeks will experience a lot of political permutations, consultations, and declarations ahead of the ruling party's primary election. Ola Awako, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's get into our discussion of the day, the first one. More presidential aspirants are emerging ahead of the 2023 elections. About 7 aspirants have declared interest to run for the presidency under the All Progressives Congress, while over 10 people have declared interest under the People's Democratic Party, with many others on the platform of various political parties. As activities leading up to the 2023 elections pick up in earnest, the big question on the lips of many is which of the many aspirants will win the heart of Nigerians, and will that candidate be able to deliver on good governance for the country, especially in these trying times. Joining me in the studio is the Center Director, Center for International Advanced and Professional Studies, Professor Anthony Killer. Professor, it's good to have you join me now.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Great. Now, when we talk about good governance, yes, it seems everybody has an idea somewhere, what good governance should look like, what should be the deliverables, what should we look at, what should we expect, and all of that. Yet, since independence till now, we have always complained, Nigerians, we have not seen that actual good governance yet. Whether the president is experienced, the governors are experienced politicians or not, whether they are experienced economists or not, we still talk about, we're looking for good governance. Yeah. We're looking for good governance. What is good governance at the end of the day if we're not having it and we're still having people who are contesting from year to year?
Oh, what I think, let's be fair to Nigerians, we haven't had good governance because we haven't got the basic thing that people, i.e. politicians, have been promising Nigerians and Nigerians have been expecting. If you look at the manifesto for 1979 elections, 1983 elections, 1993 election. The problem, or if you look at old newspapers of, say, 30, 40 years ago, the problems we're dealing with then are still the ones we're dealing with now. So Nigerians have a very, very low basic common denominator in terms of what we expect from governance. An example is, for example, is to have stable electric power, to have water in every nook and corner of the country. Now, for the country to be safe, maybe to have good health. These are very basic things that we've been looking for since 1979. At least, let's take it from there. Then 93, 99, these things have not been achieved. So therefore, when people say we're looking for good governance, that is it. What is added to it? Because we've not solved any of the basic issue. What is added to it are two things. One now is information technology age. So we have cyber issues. We have technological issues which we did not have.
So it doesn't look like the issues are compounded with the cyber issues you're talking about now.
Well, yes, compounded. Let us say they're more. Okay. They're more issues. Okay. But contrary to what people think about me, I'm actually an optimist. I actually think that because of technology, we shall be able to solve a lot of these issues if we deploy them well. What is compounded, if anything, is the new way the world is going. Now, so what is the new way the world is going? The world is getting more interrelated, unlike the way it was before. We're more interconnected and we act more with each other. Because the rest of the world has grown and has taken a bend, whilst Nigeria is still warming up to run, there is, now here's a complication, there is a concern that in this interrelated world, Nigeria is vulnerable to be dominated and recolonized totally because we've not done the basic and other people are doing bigger things. We're talking about having electricity. People are talking about having a whole city with free Wi-Fi. So you see where the difference lies. So we're talking about having good roads. People have stopped cars. They've gone to riding bicycle because they've gone beyond the industrial age. People are talking about the post-industrial age. We have not even entered the mechanized age. To that extent, the same question of good governance remains. It has not been done. The quality of education is still a problem. So to that extent, we still have those same issues.
I recall, even in the First Republic, when we had Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo and Tafawa Balewa campaigning and all of that, the same thing they campaigned. I'm going to provide this.
Exactly.
I'm going to provide that. Vote for me so I can give you this. Were the same things Shagari and the others used to campaign in 1979.
Yes.
It was the same thing in 1993. Yes. It was the same thing in 1999, and it's the same thing right now.
And
we're still talking about housing, like you said, basic things. But
yes,
in all of this, Nigerians who know what they want and who understand, okay, we're looking for good governance we have not found. Should we lay the blame on the doorstep of Nigerians when making this selection? Because sometimes they know that this person may not necessarily have what it takes, but because he comes from my part of the country, or because he serves in the same kind of religion or temple that I serve, or because he's my tribe or something, so even though he doesn't have the pedigree, but let's give it to him. Should we blame Nigerians for this?
Well, Nigerians, yes, to the extent that both leaders and followers are Nigerians. If you're asking me, should we blame the leaders and the followers? That's another thing. I think it's a very unfortunate situation we have, that when we talk of democracy in a federal republic, a secular republic, and maybe we should understand the meaning of republic. What republic means is that it's a secular state, not a state of daddy, king, or elderly person. It's a state in which everybody has equal rights. And because it's a republic, we ought to see ourselves as one. Equal members of one big family. That is the essence of what a republic should be. And unfortunately, we don't have that. You say, how do we choose people? Well, let's look at it this way. You say, in other parts of the world, and everywhere in humanity, this is the way things works. politicians, the difference between politicians and citizens is just one thing. Politicians want power. That is what combines all politicians. They want power. If you don't want power, then you shouldn't be in politics. Once you're in politics, you're doing it because you want power. The difference between politician A and politician B is how they're going to use that power. But they want power. The difference between the rest of us, citizens and politicians, is that we want things, not power. We want roads, we want schools, we want hospitals, we want jobs.
Which the power is supposed to deliver.
Which we believe the power is supposed to deliver. Then that's the difference. Now, to get power elsewhere in the world, politicians confront themselves, they go into a battle, which is elections, rather than shooting and killing themselves. Because don't forget that there was a time in life where to get power, you have to kill the other person. So we invented democracy and we said, instead of killing each other,
nature.
Yes, let us vote, let us persuade rather than force. Elsewhere in the world, people compete against each other by saying that I am going to make life better in the country by reducing tax. Somebody says by increasing tax. Somebody says by doing bridge. Another person says by doing train. Then we the people look at it and say, I'd rather go with this one. The way they convince people is what you call a political formula. They create a formula to say, come with me because I believe the way to solve our problem is to empower workers. So I am leaning towards the left and I believe the state should do more. Other people say, come with me because I believe the way to do it is to empower business people and I think the state should step back. That is a political formula. The political formula we've invented in Nigeria is to say, come with me because you pray like me. Because you are a Muslim or you're a Christian like me. Come with me because I'm from the north. So all northerners, let's get together. All southerners, let's get together. In the middle of doing that, we have translated ourselves into identity politics, not functional politics. So whilst we're all following people because they look like us, they pray like us, we've left out the key thing, which is, can they do it? So to that extent, the fault of we the people is that we do not treat politicians the way we treat our dentist, hairdresser, barber, plumber, or tailor. We do not say, who is the tailor that can sew well? Because I want clothes. What links us together between me and my dentist is my teeth. I just need to make sure it's a dentist that can do it well. Not where he or she prayed yesterday, or not where he or she comes from. So we have created, with our idea of politics, has become more identity-based rather than functional.
Now, in African society, we are bound by the issues of culture, ethnic groups, language, religion, and so on. In those climes, they don't have those kind of things.
Yes.
So, if is anything wrong, really, in somebody saying, okay, this is a block.
Yes.
Being a Christian or being a Muslim is a block.
Yes.
Being a Hausa or being an Igede or Tiv or Ibibio is a block. Being from speaking this language or what is a block. Excuse me.
Yes.
So, if we work our politics based on that and it is yielding out result, is anything wrong in that? Isn't that our own peculiarity?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's a peculiarity, but let's take it step by step. First, you say in other climes they have a different way. I want to assure you today that they were like us. Everywhere in the world, it was us versus them. It was a siege. It was they killed each other. They invaded. You see, the countries that you see today, for decades, if not centuries, sometimes they were killing each other just because they were different. They were claiming the land. At one point in their life, leaders who were enlightened came up to say, let us stop doing this. Let us forge a way. We that we are educated, exposed, and experienced, the 3 E's, let us affect the 4th E, environment. Education, experience, and exposure to affect environment. The inability to do that is a leadership problem in Nigeria. You see, what has happened is that it's been forever, but let us just take the last from 1999. Political parties have failed Nigeria because they've not been able to create blocks that goes beyond ethnic, religious affiliation to functional. They're still staying on identity politics. You see, it's a shortcut, it's a lazy way. Putting things in identity politics is a way of dealing with very deep problems with shallow solutions. That is the problem. You say, if we have a peculiarity and we say we're block by block, I call it, let us say Nigeria is a union of nations. And that within those nations, we have to find a way to live together, which is fine. I have no problem with that. The problem is, instead of politicians finding ways that will benefit all the people, the 200 million people, in everything they do, they are looking for ways that will satisfy the very few of them that want power. They are saying, let us do block by block so that I can get a chance to be there. Because if you don't allow my block to be there, I don't have enough numbers to get there. Or let us not allow you to go there because you've always been there and we don't trust you. You see, all these conversations about blocks shows the frailty of the Nigerian state trying to be a nation. If we understand that we're so different that we're blocks, and there's going to be a problem because we've tried for many years. Nigerians is not that they don't know each other, they don't trust each other. And politicians are not helping issue. You want to become president of Nigeria, and part of the reason why you get there is because you come from a particular region. Either because it's zoned to you or because your bloc voted to you. And you expect me to believe that after you've taken that step of getting there because you're a part, when you now get there, you now help the whole. It doesn't work. You see, that is putting the seeds of tomato and expecting carrots to come out. It doesn't work that way. That is, that is a pre-announced failure. If we understand that we have a delicate situation in which we are different nations, it won't matter who's at the central. Would you find a system where everybody should be focused on how to live well in their part of the country, where the powers that manage things are the nearest part to the people? Not the Nigeria of my dream is a Nigeria where the president would matter much. What should matter is the chairman of the local government area, and after that maybe the governor that does my road, my school, my hospital, and of course security issues.
Okay.